We welcome you tonight. First order of business, why don't we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just had roll call. Chairman Lasher is absent tonight. He was unable to make it. Member Raccio?
Present.
And Co-Chair Dave Tate's here. Next would be approval of the minutes, but I haven't seen the minutes from the last meeting, and you weren't here anyway.
Right. So we have minutes from September that are still unapproved, I believe, which would require John and I. The last set of minutes would be you and John.
Yes.
So I make a motion to table the September and October minutes to the December meeting.
And when we're all three here?
Yep.
Second?
Second. Okay, the motion has been seconded.
Motion's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes 2-0. Can open it up for public input. There's no one in the audience tonight, but as always, we welcome people to come and ask anything that we can do to improve our program. Any concerns you have, we're open to any ideas that you have. If you want to even come down tonight while we're here, that's no problem. Moving on to old business.
Yes. Over the past few months, we've been discussing activities over the winter months that typically cannot take our time during the active months of our mosquito season. A couple of the things that have been discussed is setting up and discussing programs to continue to support our education to the public. And over the months, we've talked about various activities to include things like video clips, things like one-on-one conversations or 30-second type infomercials. One of the things that became very productive and actually had tremendous benefit was when we as a committee took the time to scout the town for favorable growth conditions for mosquitoes. And of course, the biggest and classic example of that was when John initially took a look around Dara Pond and took a look around the high school and uncovered some very significant issues that the rest of our committee then joined in, surveyed and presented action plans to the school district, presented our findings to our health officer and our town administrators. So in the upcoming months, December, January, February, I would like to see us start to engage laying out these plans. The new soccer, the new soccer fields, for example.
To check out and
to provide a little more of a trained eye at what's out there, and make recommendations again to our school district, the rec department,
Okay.
and if it's hazardous enough, basically write an action plan to the Board of Selectmen.
So for
to-
us,
Sure.
so for us to go around again to these,
Right.
that's
So-
fine, that'd be a good idea.
Setting up plans like that, drawing out schedules so that we can, our personal schedules can be accommodating. Those are the types of activities that we're not going to the town for more money. We're not, we're making do with basically what we have.
Right,
Trying to continue to demonstrate with over 5,500 live samples tested and collected this year, no less than 3 urgent alerts from the state and the CDC regarding tick infestations and populations. These types of activities are what we need. We don't need to slow down or take a breather. Just 2 weeks ago, I removed a tick from myself. Ticks are still a problem. We've had hard freezes. We've even had a few flakes. Ticks are still a problem. Lyme disease still paralyzes and kills. So once again, we get this false sense of security during no more mosquitoes. Well, that's off our plate for another 6 months. We don't have to worry about that. That's not the case. So those are the types of things, Dave, that I would like us to document and put forward to the next agenda. And when the 3 of us are sitting,
okay.
We bring those up as discussion points.
So specifically, it was like scheduling the scouting of the town.
Right, so activities like the scouting of the town, for example.
Okay.
Activities to coordinate with the cable committee for not maybe and if and possibly, but
Actually,
solid requests to Dick Pentany and the cable committee to please provide services Tuesday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. at the courthouse to record a 30-second spot. Last 2 years ago, we did things like
we did the slides.
we built slide decks and information slides. Not hey, let's do this. This is a good idea, but directives to the school or to the Board of Selectmen. We require computer services to create and construct informational slides and informational material according to our charter on February 27th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m.
You want to take the talking that we've done and mention just the maybes and the whats and make it more specific.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then they can come back and tell us yes or no. And that way we know whether we have the resources and the services that we're asking for, as well as allowing them time to prepare for it, as opposed to it's 7:10 to Thursday evening on November 20th. We need something tomorrow. Ain't gonna work. Hasn't worked. That's the kind of
That's fine. I mean, that's good.
right. And while we have the time, maybe we dedicate part of the January meeting to do that, because we're not out fogging and we're not out chasing and we're not out site surveying, but it's 3 degrees outside. This is a pretty warm environment here. I'd rather be creating that material now, not on a nice Saturday afternoon. You get the drift, Dave.
Okay. You'd also mentioned another one on researching federal grants.
Research and federal grants, interesting.
We talked about that.
Yes, we did. There are, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I personally uncovered grants, federal grants that are unpaid back for an initiative that we applied for a $150,000 grant. Now, that's just me. I'm not a town administrator, and I don't have the resources, but if I can find a $150,000 grant, we as a committee can do a little bit better. And why isn't the town supporting us on that?
This is a grant for?
A grant to support the detection, the early detection of slight concussions. Not you're out cold, but in high school, for example, football players.
That's a big thing.
He comes off and he's a little wobbly. Well, inside of 30 seconds, the coaches and the staff know whether he's got a mild concussion or not. But in my research, it took me all of 3 hours to find $150,000. Now, we have trained professionals here that are supposed to be doing that to help us. So I want the board, the committee, to kind of put down some generalized bullets on how you do grant research. What are the topics you look for when you're looking for mosquito control-based grants? And then submit that and let them run with it, right? We don't have computers to do it here, or we could do it. Things like that. And that's, I know from my previous experience at town, federal grants and the town proper, there's typically a lot of strings attached. Reporting responsibilities for years to come, linkages to other pork belly type federal bureaucracy.
Difficult to write grant reports.
But if we're not looking, and we as a committee are not providing the information to assist the town in looking, we're remiss.
Okay. Was there anything else?
We talked a little bit about expanding the board. Our charter says up to 5. So I would like to see us engage in a recruiting effort. Having 3 is functional and it works. Having 5 is a broader horizon with different views that may bring us more in touch with some of the town's views.
Have there ever
So
been
I
that
think,
many?
pardon me?
Have there ever been that many?
Early on, we were up to 4. We had actually an alternate because at that time we hadn't had the legislation to grow to 5. So we had 3 and an alternate. While the alternate couldn't vote, there was a broader view and context of the jobs and chores. That was very beneficial. And then when I look, of course, at the planning board, 5 with 2 alternates, that's a team of 7. Now there's pros and cons in that. You never get a unified answer or things drag out. But at the end of the day, you have a very good cross spectrum to the town. Same thing as a board of selectmen, they're a board of 5.
Right.
So, I'd like to see us, set that on an agenda item to actually, discuss with the chairman on whether we, pursue that or not. That's another worthy point. Once again, these months are the time to hash that out. It's the time we can go to the, look up RSAs and basically be able to prepare to address things like that.
Sounds like we're setting up our December agenda.
Right. I know when I spoke with Dave, or I'm sorry, when I spoke with John, there's also a host of administrative activities at the end of the year that this board is charged with, or this district is charged with. End of the year reports, fact finding. I believe budget issues have already been resolved. That's a good point. At the last meeting, I don't recall talking about the budget or being asked for budget submissions, budgeting ideas, or voting the budget for that matter. Did that happen in one of the meetings I was absent in?
2 months ago.
So I know we didn't do it in September. I wasn't here in
We
October.
didn't vote in October.
Okay, so I'm not aware of how this district, what was put forward in consideration for a budget, since we didn't discuss it. However, I am aware that the budget committee and the budget meetings and hearings, town and the budget committee, there's something in the process and being worked. I'd like to know what that is. And the rationale behind the budget that was submitted. I have no clue. Sounds like you're a little uninformed at the moment as well.
Right.
So that would be a definite topic for the December meeting, and as well as guiding principles on how we conduct that in the past, how it's conducted presently, and how are we going to conduct it in the future. So there's a whole administrative set of things we can occupy the slower months with as well.
Okay. Get in touch with John on a couple of these.
And it may be that he's got that addressed and ready to present it in December. I'm not sure.
Any other new business?
New business. The neighboring, and I don't know the tract number, there's probably 20 or 25 acres. Behind Moose Hollow and Birch Street. I'm sorry, not Birch Street, Bear Run.
Okay.
That's, I believe it's deemed common land. I'm not 100% sure, but my question is who's responsible for it, as well as other associated wetland tracts that are mosquito habitats abutting properties. So I think one of the things we need to do is look at and I picked on that one because it's,
Because you know it.
I know it. I don't care which one it is. Our drainage systems and our swales drain into these areas. So when we have a program to dip our manholes and treat them, all that water goes somewhere. And last year, we actually looked at one right by the school, by the horse farm. Remember that? That drainage ditch that comes across from, right. And when you look at that ditch, what should be an open drainage area is a plugged mess right at the sidewalk that we put so much into and advocate so much traffic to, and it becomes a giant mosquito pool because the water doesn't drain and sink. It pools against all that garbage.
It sounds like we need to keep a list, at least have a list of all these potential places. We don't know where they are now.
Exactly. Another great winter project. But you said new business. I think that is new business that we can get the road agent, we can get the health officer, we can get ourselves, as well as the planning board. They have all the site plans. And they have mapping software and compute resources that can actually, we could pinpoint them, and then there's no guesswork. And then when the road agent puts his budgets in for his work scope for the upcoming year, we can prioritize the ones by the school, the ones by the sidewalks where people are really concentrated, and then develop a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan that works with the road agent and the work he needs to do, as well as stormwater management and all of those things. There's lots of money in stormwater management. What are we doing with it? I mean, 5-6 years ago, we were penalized for not doing anything. We had to pay a fine. So now, there's opportunity to, at no cost or added burden, to work those types of projects in and be compliant, and nobody's going for a special warrant article or any of that other BS. If we don't put these forward in either new business or conducted business, we're not doing our job.
Okay.
That's about everything I've got that I wanted to speak about tonight. Since John isn't here tonight, there's a host of administrative things that I'd like to discuss, but I want all of us present.
Okay, so if there's no other new business, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So be it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a good holiday.